We are headed back to Florida yet again for some foolishness down there. So what's going on in Florida right now? Well, in this picture, you see a man by the name of Nicholas Aaron Shock. And in two pictures, one, it looks like he's getting into an altercation with this woman and he has his hand open. Keep that in mind. The second picture, he's in a chokehold by another guy on the ground and it looks like he's bleeding from the nose. It looks like that's blood on the side of his nose. Basically, what happened was this guy got into a physical altercation with a woman and he exposed himself in front of children right there out in the open, like pulled his junk out right there. And when I say assaulted a woman, look at how his hand looks. He hit her in public, but it goes even deeper into the privilege side of things. But let me not get ahead of myself and read this article for you, and we'll get to that part. A self-proclaimed white supremacist who said he supports 45 was reportedly arrested after he was seen on camera punching a woman. The incident was said to have occurred in Sarasota County, Florida on Friday. In video shared on social media, a man identified as Nicholas Aaron Shock can be heard demanding employees of an establishment to call Donald Trump after he is asked not to expose himself to children. "I'm a white supremacist," Shock shouts. "The Aryan nation will rule the world. If you don't know Donald Trump, I'm not going nowhere," he says. When a woman warns Shock that children are nearby, he slaps the woman with an open hand. Several men quickly tackle Shock to the ground where he is put into a chokehold. Now watch this. This is where the privilege comes in. According to Law and Crime, Shock was arrested and held on a whopping $620 bond. So this guy went to an establishment, yelled out that he was a white supremacist. He basically let you know where his legions lies. Like I told you, I always like it when they're out in the open. Let us know who you are. Don't hide in the shadows. He then says, if you don't know Donald Trump, then some other BS. And then he exposes himself in front of children, which is a charge within itself, a decent exposure. And that could almost be seen as some kind of form of pedophilia, in my opinion. And then he assaulted this woman. And now this was before he had slapped her. Like that was right leading into the smack. And he slapped her. And then, of course, that's when they tackled him in the picture on the right. And he did all of that. So you can say that he was disturbing the peace, indecent exposure in front of minors, assault. He did all of that and only got a $620 bond. The privilege is indeed real. But this is Florida we're talking about here. So this shouldn't surprise anybody. In my opinion, this is just another day in Florida. I want to know from my Florida followers, did any of you hear about this story before I talked about it? Because I definitely can't wait to get your take on it. I'm going to get, of course, everyone else is going to give their take about it too, but I want to know from you. And let me also say this. A lot of people always say that white people don't act out in public or act a certain way with their women. Here's an example right here. I don't know if you've been out and about, but they have been known to act an ass. I mean, look at all these Karens and Kyles running around here. What do you call that? That's just called acting in their nature. They are sticking to their nature and they're in their lane and doing all of this, that, and the third. And then you have this guy right here. And yes, there is actual video caught of this entire exchange going down online right now as we speak. And this is just a screenshot from it happening. So it has been out there and it's probably, of course, by now, because this is the internet, has gone viral. I'm going to see if I can, retrieve it and I'll post the link so you can see it for yourself. This is just a screenshot. But don't think for 1 second that Palm Color does not act out a character and will have us to believe that it's just us that are the savages.